One of the stars of Pawn Stars, Austin Russell, also known as Chumlee, is in jail tonight. The courtroom in Las Vegas was filled with heavy breaths as the judge delivered the final verdict. Austin Chumlee Russell, overwhelmed by the weight of the sentence, collapsed in shock, creating a dramatic scene that left witnesses stunned. Highlighting the intense emotions surrounding the case, what led to this shocking confrontation in the courtroom between the beloved reality TV star and the justice system? Here's everything you need to know about the explosive legal battle that brought this about. If you find this story captivating, don't forget to like, share with your friends, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on the latest news and interesting stories every day. Stay tuned. Chumlee, the beloved Pawn Stars star, is widely regarded as one of the most entertaining figures in reality TV. Praised for his humor, laid-back presence, and unmatched ability to bring authenticity to every episode of the hit History Channel show Pawn Stars, his career spanning over a decade on television includes iconic moments such as purchasing a professional pinball machine with his own video games. Chumlee's memorable catchphrases aside, his legacy extends far beyond his television career. His influence on the collectibles market, his contributions to the gold and silver pawn shop's fame, and his intentional decisions to build his personal brand all paint the picture of a man who transformed from an ordinary pawn shop employee into a cultural phenomenon and television career icon. Chumlee was built on the foundation of his likability, natural charm, and unwavering commitment to being himself, despite facing initial skepticism. Often portrayed as the comedic character of the shop, he refused to be typecast. Instead, he redirected his determination into building expertise in specific collectibles, ultimately earning his place as a valuable member of the Pawn Stars cast. His performance earned him a beloved status among fans, solidifying his position as a breakout star of the show. What sets Chumlee apart is his ability to connect with viewers through depth and authenticity. He made a lasting impact with audiences across the U.S., while his television career made him famous. His business ventures have also showcased his strategic mindset after building his brand. His personal brand, through diversification with a candy clothing line and personal appearances, helped him earn millions of dollars. This later funded his legal defense against shocking accusations that rocked his loyal fan base. The aftermath of Pawn Stars' success saw both the show and Chumlee take different paths. Notably, the show's trajectory soared after its launch, becoming one of the highest-rated cable TV programs, with over 500 episodes and streaming online, blending the show's formula. With strong production value, it positioned itself as the most educational entertainment show in reality TV. Meanwhile, Chumlee faced the challenges that came with fame. Suddenly, the public eagerly embraced the lovable character they saw on screen, initially supporting his many personal appearances. These events drew large crowds, a testament to his popularity extending beyond the show. The stark contrast between his on-screen persona and the growing private struggles created tensions that would last for years. "I've lived two completely different lives," Chumlee said. But fame makes you feel invincible. I was determined to enjoy every moment, especially when people recognized me everywhere I went. This determination fueled a more lavish lifestyle, while the show remained focused on historical items and negotiations. His personal life expanded with luxury cars, a mansion, and an extensive collection of sneakers and jewelry. Social media posts showcasing his extravagant shopping sprees garnered millions of views, crafting a public image that contrasted sharply with his earlier humility. Starting at the pawn shop in the mid-2010s, there was a stark contrast between career success and growing personal luxury. As both reached new heights, Pawn Stars' viewership peaked, with special episodes drawing over 7 million viewers. Meanwhile, Chumlee's personal brand expanded, including his Chumlee's Candy Shop on Las Vegas Street and a successful product line behind the scenes. However, Chumlee struggled with the pressures of fame, which threatened to derail his career. The issues he often attributed to the sudden shift from anonymity to fame, going from an ordinary guy to someone who couldn't go to Walmart without taking 500 photos, drove me crazy, he admitted in a rare, candid interview. I turned to things to help me cope. It nearly cost me everything, this personal chaos, which contrasted sharply with the increasingly professional nature of the show. By 2016, the gap between his public persona and private reality had grown so vast, while the show portrayed Chumlee as a lovable character. Sometimes the innocence that fans loved about him on screen, off camera, his life had taken worrying turns that would soon be made public. In the most dramatic way possible, it ultimately led to legal trouble for Chumlee after years of increasingly reckless behavior. A police raid in March 2016 at his Las Vegas home was initially linked to a sexual assault investigation. "We executed a search warrant as part of an ongoing investigation," Officer Rodriguez explained in a press conference, quickly spreading through entertainment news outlets. What we discovered during the search led to additional charges unrelated to the investigation. Initially, the raid became a major topic in the entertainment world, with websites analyzing its potential impact on both Chumlee and the future of Pawn Stars. A week later, TMZ revealed details that shocked fans. Authorities found guns, drugs, and drug paraphernalia at Chumlee's home, far removed from the cheerful persona viewers loved. This was not the humility we knew from TV. A fan wrote in a viral social media post that this situation affects how people view him. If these stories pique your curiosity, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. Don't forget to share with your friends and family to explore these surprising stories together. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about changing yourself through plastic surgery? Thank you for joining us today, and see you in the next videos. Watching the show, he never seemed like someone with issues like this. The disconnect between his public persona and private reality seemed to be the final catalyst in the following weeks. Prosecutors built a case and filed multiple felony charges against this reality TV star, including possession of firearms and drugs, with a potential prison sentence of up to 20 years. If convicted on all charges, the allegations not only involved legal consequences, but also represented a fundamental threat to the carefully crafted public image of Chumlee. The foundation of his entire career and financial success, the legal actions shook the entertainment industry. Experts called this the potential end of the career of one of the most recognizable reality TV personalities. Court records revealed shocking details about the scale of the discoveries at Chumlee's residence. Evidence records showed that authorities found multiple types of weapons, including assault rifles, along with various substances and related items. However, in a significant development, the investigation into the alleged sexual assault had driven the initial search. No charges were filed due to insufficient evidence, but the defendant had created a lifestyle that posed an unacceptable risk to public safety. A prosecution document recommended applying the maximum penalties based on the quantity and nature of the items discovered on the first day of the trial, which shaped the atmosphere as Chumlee entered the courtroom. The camera flashes illuminated his somber expression. His Pawn Stars colleagues were noticeably absent, and the television personality who had entertained millions was finally facing the legal consequences of his actions. Your Honor, this case involves serious violations of controlled substance and firearms laws. The prosecutor opened the defendant's home, which contained an arsenal of weapons along with a large quantity of illegal substances. The trial quickly became tense as photos of the seized items were displayed in court. Chumlee was seen staring down at the floor, occasionally shaking his head as particularly damaging evidence was presented during the interrogation, escalating the tension in the courtroom. Was it your testimony that Mr. Russell was operating a drug distribution operation? Chumlee's lawyer asked the officer about the quantity and types of substances, suggesting they were more than for personal use. The officer confidently responded, but he did not find scales, packaging materials, or a distribution list typically associated with trafficking. The courtroom became particularly tense during the testimony about the weapons. Do you agree that Mr. War Russell is a well-known collector of various items, including historical weapons? Chumlee's lawyer asked. Collecting requires a license and proper storage, the weapons expert Turley responded. Chumlee appeared nervous, whispering to his lawyer as the judge warned him to remain silent unless called to the witness stand. Legal experts testified about the potential sentencing guidelines, noting that these charges often carry significant prison sentences. Former attorney James Wilson testified that the combination of firearms and controlled substances created an especially serious legal situation. Chumlee's defense focused on the fact that he had no prior criminal record and that his fame had led to poor judgment, arguing that his celebrity status created an environment where the line between normal and excessive became blurred. My client was caught up in the whirlwind of excess, clouding his judgment, his lawyer argued, stating that he never intended to cause harm and had been a public figure of good character in many aspects. As the trial neared its end, fans watched with deep concern. This was not just a legal battle, but the potential downfall of a television personality whose appeal was built on his relatability and harmless persona. The plea negotiations became a central element of the trial, with lawyers from both sides engaged in discussions. Engaging in deep discussions about potential solutions, the implications seemed to stagger beyond the threatened personal freedoms, with the possibility of Chumlee being imprisoned for years. There were considerations about his career, with estimated damages in the millions, a ruined reputation, and an uncertain future regarding his role on Pawn Stars. Regardless of the outcome, on the final day, the courtroom was surrounded by fans, some holding supportive signs, while others wore Pawn Stars merchandise. Inside, the atmosphere was charged with excitement as Judge Michael Davidson presided. Preparing for sentencing after Chumlee agreed to plead guilty in the state case against Russell, the judge began the court proceedings. He carefully considered the plea deal negotiated between the prosecution and defense, along with all the mitigating and aggravating factors. The room was so quiet you could hear the rustling of paperwork as Chumlee stood, his hands trembling lightly at his sides. The defendant pleaded guilty to one charge related to firearms and one charge related to a minor drug offense. The judge continued, stating that the remaining charges were dismissed as part of the agreement. Chumlee's expression remained tense as his lawyers exchanged cautious glances. However, the court had to address the severity of these offenses. The judge stated firmly that the possession of both illegal substances and unregistered firearms raised significant concerns about public safety. The judge's ruling was clear. Chumlee would be sentenced to 3 years of probation, required to undergo counseling and regular drug testing, and have all items seized in the raid confiscated. But the truly shocking provision came as a surprise. Any violation of his probation terms would trigger an automatic 3-year prison sentence without the need for a subsequent hearing. The court accepted the plea deal with these conditions. The judge declared, "Mr. Russell, you are hereby sentenced to 3 years of probation with strict compliance supervision. Any violation will result in immediate incarceration for 3 years. Do you understand these terms?" In reality, this dealt a heavy blow to Chumlee after months of turmoil, facing the potential of decades behind bars. This moment marked a significant turning point. Instead, there was relief, as the severity of how close he had come to losing everything, combined with the realization that his freedom now depended on perfect compliance, seemed to overwhelm him. His face turned pale, beads of sweat forming on his forehead as the judge continued to read the full conditions. Additionally, the defendant was required to complete 200 hours of community service, and the judge's voice grew distant, drowned out by the roaring in Chumlee's ears. The courtroom began to spin, and his lawyer noticed something was wrong. Placing a firm hand on his arm, but it was still not enough. The reality TV star who had entertained millions suddenly collapsed forward. Security rushed to him as his labored breathing echoed through the courtroom. The television personality who had built his career on his carefree attitude was now unconscious in court, and the world watched as he went into a panic attack. A medical staff member in the courtroom called out, pushing through the crowd to make space. Someone grabbed water as the medical team rushed in, and photographers captured the scene. It would dominate entertainment headlines worldwide. Chumlee, the beloved Pawn Stars personality, was being cared for on the courtroom floor. The emotional weight of his legal challenge had finally taken a physical toll on him. Outside the courtroom, Rick Harrison was seen visiting his colleague and friend for a brief moment, while fans gathered in concerned groups, many expressing shock at the dramatic conclusion of the case. The medical drama quickly overshadowed the legal verdict as entertainment websites and social media exploded with worry, with fans sharing their concerns. Updates and supportive messages with hashtags like Chumlee Strong and #PawnStarFamily flooded social media. 3 days later, still shaking, but with his signature smile back, Chumlee released a video statement from his home. "Facing the consequences of my actions seems to have triggered my anxiety," he explained, making a weak attempt at humor. "The doctor says I need to make better choices. I know he's right." The fear for his health seemed to have triggered a fundamental change in Chumlee's public persona. In a surprising turn, the History Channel took action. Reportedly supportive of his continued involvement in the show after recovery, an anonymous source revealed that the network viewed his legal issues as an opportunity for a true redemption storyline. Although official representatives would not confirm future plans or comment on specific arrangements, Chumlee's next statement took on a different tone. "I let my reputation cloud my judgment. I made mistakes that could have cost me everything," he said with an unusually serious demeanor. "I'm grateful for this moment." "Opportunity, and I promise my fans I won't waste it," Chumlee said. The entertainment world buzzed with speculation about what might happen next. This legal battle had altered his trajectory, and as a seasoned reality TV producer, the audience connected with stories of redemption. Chumlee now had an authentic story to tell the media. Observers noted that he seemed focused on his legitimate business ventures while adhering to all court requirements. Fans immediately lit up with supportive messages about his potential return, though no official confirmation came. Chumlee and the network did not provide a specific timeline when directly asked about his return to television. Chumlee offered a thoughtful response. "Right now, I'm focused on being healthy and making better decisions. The show has been my family for many years, and I hope to make them proud again." The legal battle had unexpectedly turned into a potential turning point, rather than the disgraceful end to his career. Interest in Pawn Stars remained strong, with many fans expressing support for Chumlee's eventual return to the series that made him famous. Those who have followed his journey from an unknown pawn shop employee to a television star may see this courtroom drama as a serious reminder of the pitfalls of fame. The collapse, which left viewers stunned, was not just about a man reaching his breaking point, but possibly the beginning of a more authentic public persona finally emerging from behind the carefree character. What do you think about how fame influences personal judgment? Share your thoughts in the comments.